Well, it's easy for us to take it for granted because we're used to it now, having been here 10 years. But I think all of us here have been in Madison since before the Civic Center, right?
Yes.
Right.
And the Civic Center was such a wonderful development. But boy, then to have this come on top of that. And so those of us who've been around a longer time maybe can appreciate it more than some recent arrivals to Madison who say, oh yeah, Overture, that's pretty nice, but it's so special.
It's the feeling you have when you leave. It's the feeling of you just saw something that not everyone gets to see. And not that there's like this level of we got to see it and no one else did. Just the fact of, wow, we want more people to see it because it was such an amazing experience. I think that's what the arts bring.
Several years ago when Jesus Christ Superstar was here, through some interesting turns of events, we ended up in Ted Neely's dressing room with him for 45 minutes. And the man was absolutely amazing, but the coolest thing was that he defined Overture as a cathedral. He said this is one of the top 5 places in the entire world. To hear somebody who has toured the entire world talking about what an absolutely amazing place this was, that was a really neat thing to hear. I always thought of this as a Madison thing, and he said, no, we need to look at this not just Madison, not even just a statewide thing. He said, we need to look at this as a national treasure. He said, because this place is so spectacular, we need to bring people in from all over the world.
When we give money to Overture, when we support the arts, we're also supporting our community because there are so many fine restaurants down here, shops. We own a little space right across on State Street, and I can't tell you how much we benefit from the shows at Overture. We see firsthand this give and take and what it's doing for downtown Madison, and it's a really great thing.
Look, when we're trying to recruit high-tech type employees from other parts of the country, one of the things they notice is Madison is a community that has culture and it has an arts district. And for a community this size to have a place like this helps draw people to this area.
A rising tide does lift all boats. When Overture does well, we all do well. When we do well, Overture does well. And I think if we can keep feeding each other that way, it's going to be a great thing.
I agree with you.
We love it when we drive through the neighborhood and see so many school buses that they don't have a place to park, and it makes us feel good because we support access to Overture for school kids and kids who don't have enough money to come on their own. And really, I think it's a wonderful outreach that Overture is very good at.
That's a big reason I think we just all need to have in the back of our mind that we're allowing access for all.
I told a little story about standing looking in the window and seeing these little children like this looking in the window. Are you going to the theater? No, we can't afford to go in there. So that's why we give from the heart for the young people that can't afford to come. And it makes us feel really good about being able to give.
The exposure to a show like that, where you would have had to have gone to New York or Chicago or London, to be able to bring that to Madison is so rich. And the fact that Overture works so hard to get so many kids in to see that production, it's just amazing, and it has done wonderful things for our city.
I'm a true believer in experience over belongings, and also live experience. And kids these days are so kind of tuned into all these other kind of technological things, and to have a performance live on stage there's nothing like it. I mean, nothing like it.
Whatever kids do in that free time when they're not in school, whether it's sports, whether it's something technologically, whether it's the sciences, whether it's the arts, anything that engages them and works their minds and keeps them involved and brings them into a community setting, enriches their lives so much.
We give to a number of different places, but when we give to Overture, I mean, it just fills my heart to know that we're helping people get access to the arts. And I say all our kids are into technology, but our life's journey is technology married with the arts. That's the human experience.
We've gone from being a $100 donor to maybe a $1,000 donor. Last year, we did a big donation for the 10th anniversary. That was very important to us. And I wouldn't even call them donations. I would call it an investment.
I think a lot about when I was growing up as a child in Madison, and our funds were limited. We We did not really have a lot of exposure to things outside of our own little world. But one of the things I remember from watching public television was Jerry Bartell always saying, the arts are for everybody. Support and enjoy. And I internalized that. So later in life, when I had money that my family hadn't been used to having, I knew that some of that money had to go back to the arts. Mostly, I just think that those of us who have experienced the beauty of the arts and know what it means to us, just know that we have to share that with everybody we can possibly share it with.
It's a powerful thing to be able to walk down the street and see the kids coming out and see them laughing and skipping and this gaggle of children. It's a really empowering thing, and I think it makes us want to do more.
There are a lot of things we can do to be charitable in the world, but it's really a neat, special feeling when you know you're giving back to your own community. It's like taking care of your corner of the planet that you get to see on a daily basis and be able to appreciate it.
If you really believe and you want to see Madison and our community do well, I think you have to donate.
Just as Jerry Frautschi shared his legacy by building this center, and Pleasant Rowland joined him by giving us the beautiful organ and the great performance fund for the resident companies and so many other contributions. Just as they did that for us, now it's the community's turn to give back and make sure that we're giving so that everybody else can also enjoy it as we're able to.